Meteorologist with a Casey Cloud with you early on this Friday morning, trying to give you guys the latest on a situation right now toward parts of Taylor County of a tornado warning now in effect until about 2:15 a.m. The National Weather Service there indicating a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado at 1:52 that was located about 15 miles southwest of Perry, moving east about 45 miles an hour. So we need to get folks into shelter here, mainly rural areas of central Taylor County, but also looking at spots like Pineland there, the airport toward Perry itself, Busell Junction, and Hampton Springs. You need to get an interior room away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Maybe put a football helmet on, a bicycle helmet on, something like that in this type of situation as this potential tornado is located. As we go over to our velocity mode, I want to go ahead and show you the exact look at things there. And I'll go ahead and put my mouse on the screen. It's right here. You can see it there with the green and red indicated on our thermal velocity mode. Looking right now, you can't see any debris, thankfully, like we saw last Friday here about the same time. But again, watching things here right now in Taylor County, a tornado warning in effect until 2:15 a.m. You need to get in the interior room away from windows right now out here. I know it's pretty rural, so hopefully not too many people being impacted at the moment. But that could change as this moves on over here towards some of these areas further downstream. If this holds together, I was looking at the parameters when they put that tornado possible tag in there. I said a thunderstorm warning that we posted about a few moments ago, and there are enough maybe to try to keep this going a little bit further on over, at least in Taylor County. In fact, I'll see what I'm talking about here on our other modes. So our instability values here will be what I'll start with. So let's jump on over. You can see that's going to about Perry there and about Pineland up there to about 800 joules per kilogram. And then the STP values here actually go up as this gets further over. So do our supercell composite values. So supercell composite, that indicates maybe a storm's potential to kind of be separate, rotate. STP means significant tornado parameter, meaning the tornado potential that's available here within the setup. So we have enough here maybe to at least get this staying together toward Taylor County. Hopefully not further like what we saw last Friday. Again, in the overnight, we were on for hours and hours. Right now, we're not expecting a situation like that here. I mean, can't rule out an extension of this or something to that degree, but not expecting it to be that extreme of a scenario here. But we're going to continue to watch things, continue to track it. We haven't had any confirmation on this one like we did with that first one last week there either. So hopefully it's in a repeat. But you just got to go ahead and take a shot right now if you're within that red box here in Taylor County. It does include the airport and includes Pineland there. Just some of these different areas here in Taylor County. To go ahead and take those tornado precautions right away here. Let me go ahead and switch back on over to our other mode. Again, there's a tornado warning. Whenever there's a tornado warning within any one of our 62 counties, we're required to be on the air with you guys. And that just tightened up a little bit. Let's see if there's dropping debris now. Maybe in terms of our product there. I'm not seeing it yet, but it looks like it's getting pretty close. But again, in terms of our 62 counties here, our commitment to you guys, have done it since late 2019. And right now, I know we're based in Bradford County, but this is in Taylor County. I just want to give you a little geographic look of where we're at with this. So this is southeast of Leon County, the Tallahassee area. Not a threat for Tallahassee here, but again, that's where we're at right now with Taylor County and the Big Bend, the eastern Big Bend, under a tornado warning for about another 16 minutes. Hopefully this doesn't get extended. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning in play for a little bit longer for a bigger area, including Perry. That's what kind of got us watching things, because they added a tornado possible tag to it. And then a flash flood warning going for Dixie County right now. Not as wet as it has been down there. That goes to 7:30 this morning. So the reason we're on the air right now in the middle of the night, though, is a tornado warning for parts of Taylor County. Actually, some tightening rotation here right now in our Doppler would seem. This could be about to drop a tornado in Taylor County if it's not doing so already. So again, tornado warning Taylor County. Need to get an interior room. Get in that interior room there right now and toward this area. Again, the greens mean winds going toward the Doppler, and Tallahassee, the red to pinks mean winds going away. So they're going to go ahead and upgrade a severe thunderstorm threat now to considerable as we look toward areas here within this polygon. They're saying winds to 70 now, not out of the question. So that could be, in addition here, maybe to a tornado threat. We'll see. But It's looking like some of the 71-hour winds are right in here close to where the couplet is. So we'll see exactly what happens and see if we get a debris signature, something like that here over the next few moments. I know we had a little bit more of a well-defined notch on this a moment ago, but definitely can't rule something out in terms of some damaging potential here in Taylor County along the Gulf Coast this morning. Again, need to get an interior room away from windows here. The tornado warning going for another 14 minutes. That considerable now threat for the 71-hour winds with a severe thunderstorm warning going until 2:30, so for another 29 minutes or so. So you can't take this lightly. You got to take this seriously. And there's no tornado watch or anything like that in play. There's the flood watch threat that you see in the dark green on our map. You have some different alerts here, flood advisories and the like as well in certain spots of our region. But let's see if there's any debris with this. Let's look in here. I don't see it for sure. There may be a little something, but not as well defined, luckily, as what we were seeing last week. I know this, after what we saw last week, with just countless tornado warnings in the overnight, we kind of learned here together that a lot of these areas here, I mean, knew it pretty well, but a lot of these areas are really, really rural. We got lucky with not much being hit outside of the Taylor County tornado that hit the Perry area. So, again, out here, though, there could be a few people impacted, but again, we have to watch further on over, too, because there will be some more population as we get a little bit further away from the coast in here. So, again, there's a tornado warning for parts of our 62 counties. This is in the Tallahassee television market area. This is in the Tallahassee National Weather Service area. But this is something that we cover here at Cloud Weather to keep our 62 counties safe and informed. We have a bigger area than like the Jacksonville TV market or something like that. It goes out quite a ways here. So something to be very mindful of here. I do know it does go off these alerts as we look further on off toward the west on your weather radios out here. But again, something as we watch here, we watch the situation. Just got to take shelter right now. Looking there toward areas there of Taylor County, possible tornado here in this area. So need to get in shelter out here right now in the Big Bend. Just again, take those tornado precautions. I know we've had now doing the math here on the fly. So I mean, looking at things, just another day here of severe weather concern. I guess this makes it number 12 now, day number 12, with a severe threat around again here across our region. So, again, not what you want to see in terms of having to be on with live coverage here because the threat has been enough. We've been really trying to use discretion even more here the last couple of days because just didn't want you guys to feel like things are a false alarm or not a big enough deal when I'm on here because we just keep getting warning after warning on things. But whenever there's a red box on the screen, that's a tornado warning and we're required to be on here. That's our obligation to you guys at Cloud Weather. It's a commitment I made in late 2019. Whenever there's a tornado warning storm moving through any one of our 62 counties, we'll be with you guys to keep everybody safe and informed, and we've been able to do that here. At first, we were just on one platform. We have the ability to multi-stream now. Facebook there, KC Cloud Reacts, Facebook Cloud Weather, Twitter at Cloud KC, YouTube at Cloud Weather, and Twitch there, Cloud Weather with the coverage. We just got an update. Heard that beep there, 204, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Was located 9 miles southwest of Perry, moving east at about 45 miles an hour. So the latest information suggests here a little bit of periods under this. Pineland, the airport there, back as you go toward areas further on up into toward central Taylor County, and then Bucelle Junction. So again, take cover now if you have a basement, which I kind of doubt. I know that's in the precautions here, but if you had that, that'd be good. But an interior room works here in this type of situation as well. On the lowest floor of a sturdy building, just avoid those windows. If you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter. And no, in many cases, it's more important here to just being a site-built structure versus being in a mobile home here. That's really what's recommended, and protect yourself from flying debris here because that is not something that can be ruled out in this type of situation. So, again, a tornado warning right now in Taylor County, part of our 62 counties right now. As we're looking toward the Big Bend of Florida, you see Hampton Springs there. You see Pineland, some of these different communities here. It's looking like it's going to go south of Hampton Springs. We're looking for debris. Thankfully, we're not seeing it so far. But there's a tornado warning in play here. I need to take shelter in this area. Tree damage could occur. If a tornado happens, it's likely flying debris will be dangerous if this is down to those caught without shelter, as mobile homes could be damaged pretty substantially, and damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles could also occur. So, again, just keep that in mind. If this is down here, I know some are pretty rural areas, more about tree damage probably, but there are a few homes that we were looking at the map last week here, and there are a few homes out here. Eventually, you get into more population as we move on over here. And you move on over, you can see what I'm talking about here further within the tornado warning. So, again, this warning goes for another 9 minutes. Hopefully, if the circulation keeps looking like it does right now, it's kind of more diffuse. They may just keep the severe thunderstorm a considerable threat in play instead here. So that's kind of the storyline right now, but things can always change again. So let me just go ahead and check here some of the latest. I know, looking at some of our different numbers right now, talking about new customers so far in the dark in Taylor County, but that could always change here in this type of situation. Let me go ahead and see here how many folks in terms of population are under this here right now. The latest population statistics say about 6,862 folks. A lot of those more over toward areas that are further off toward the east as we're getting there, mainly east here of road to like County Road 361 and even closer toward that US 19 area. So again, one school in here as well. So just going to keep on monitoring the situation while this tornado warning is in play. This red box here in play. So again, this is in effect for parts of our 62 counties right now. I know we cover national things from time to time, but this is our local commitment whenever the tornado warning for any one of our 62 counties we're on right now. And we're on to give you guys the very latest. So you can see some yellow areas right now. Some areas of yellow showing up indicating there'll be some stronger wind. It didn't look like it was in a perfect spot, but nonetheless, you definitely see some stronger wind pixels in here. It's just not as clear if that's tornadic type of wind or not. I mean, if you're talking about 70-mile-an-hour winds, it'd be more likely down here, maybe more likely right there. But up here, we could definitely see 60-mile-an-hour wind coming into Perry. They're not under the tornado warning right in downtown Perry, pretty much, toward the airport. You are under that, but not in downtown. But still don't want to be outside, obviously, in this type of setup with winds that could be pretty strong coming right into town here. But you're not officially under the tornado warning there. So that's kind of your storyline at this point. Significant advisories to the north here. One at this point in play toward areas there, Madison County and even northern Taylor under this, Brooks County in Georgia, Lowndes County, Cook County, clipping down. But the tornado warning here is in the Big Bend of Florida. A possible tornado right now here in the middle of the night. A nocturnal threat. You're not going to see it coming necessarily. Be rain wrapped here at night. Not too much lightning right by it either, but a little bit out ahead. But I know last Friday we had those actually touching down. At this point, I don't think it's going to be as severe in terms of being on all night here. Hopefully this is going to be a one and done type tornado warning here. But you just never know. That's why we got to be on guard here. It's all about protecting you. It's all about protecting your friends. It's all about protecting your family here at this very early hour from the Weather Center. So, again, we're just going to keep looking at things. That definitely looks weaker now. Even these winds should be going down some now. They are. As I know, it's a tricky thing because I see a rotation tracker over the last little bit. And then I'm going to show you our instability factors and the like. You see our considerable axis for the severe threat in the orange as well. That's probably what's just going to stand here past 215, I would think. But you see our Siri product, the red, indicating that rotation tightening up some and the guide on in. But our instability, it does go down further inland. It's just, it's still up there pretty good though. So we're getting kind of lucky. Maybe this the coast, maybe try to use the coast to spin up sometimes. The angle of these can have an effect on it. Even the SDP values do go up a little bit though as it gets further over. That's why I'm not 100% sure this is going to fall off, but really, hopefully this is just going to be something with the instability at least dropping a little. It's just going to find some interference here with the parameters not as favorable as they were last Friday. Again, this feels like a little bit of deja vu here in the Weather Center, but hopefully it's not. As we continue to watch things, I know there's no official risk in play for that Friday for severe weather as I take our Siri product off, but we still have to be on guard here for stuff like this. Even you just never know. You have some, by the way, storms in Marion County that look kind of interesting if you're watching. Don't see much on rotation tracker, maybe a little in Citrus there. It's kind of far on the radar. It's kind of an interesting signature. But Sadie, Bellevue here, you have some heavier rain, some light in those areas. Let's take off the tornado warning super, though, right now. I don't want to confuse anybody. The tornado warning's up here. So let me go ahead and take that on off. Just a one-man band here, so I have to run everything here while we're kind of talking to you guys if you are at home. Again, a tornado warning. We've done this a lot here going back since last week, and very, very bizarre for the month of June to keep getting these tornado warnings day after day, or every other day, or sort of pop up every few days, however the pattern's been. But we're getting them to pop up here. It's kind of, you lose track of them at this point because we've been on for so many other severe thunderstorm situations. We had tornado warnings last one in our area until this one was Wednesday evening around Wakulla County there in that 6 o'clock hour. Don't think we had anything in terms of a survey done on that. Maybe a touchdown in a very rural area. And they've been really kind of, they were backlogged, just getting some survey information out there. Back there from what we had last week in Taylor County. So there's still a lot of stuff to unpack here, but it didn't seem too impactful at least. This one here hopefully will be the same story. If it touches down, maybe it's over a rural area, a forested area where it's not going to have much of an impact here. As we're looking south of Hampton Springs right now, again, the airport there getting winds a little over 10 miles an hour, not too big of a deal. Visibility pretty high, pressure 1,013 millibars. Again, you see the lightning on the screen. There's a lot of lightning here this time of night, even more in the Gulf. There, I'll put our instability on so you might be able to see that it's even a little bit clearer. Some of these strikes, because they kind of blend in sometimes with the topography. Not as much instability toward Ocala, though, but you have a little lightning there. The overall picture here in terms of rain, a little bit more there. Last hour in terms of rainfall, you can see some of the heaviest in our area toward Levy County. Some spots right near the coast north of Cedar Key, getting over 2 inches in the last hour. In this type of picture, and as we get toward areas there on the Jefferson-Taylor line, getting about 2 inches. Madison County getting into about 2 inches there as well. So again, that's kind of the storyline there. There's Marion, Ocala South, and a little bit of issues possibly trying to pop up there, getting more like an inch and a quarter, according to this, east of Denellen, according to these estimates. So last 12 hours been a little bit of a different story, though. Again, you can see it over Levy County, Cedar Key now. Last 12 hours, it's really been getting hit pretty nastily there. Cedar Key over 8 inches of rain. I mean, and they're getting some more, so that might be an area to watch for some new alerts to come out if we're not careful here over the next little bit. So we'll be watching that here, obviously, in the Weather Center. I know we already have some. I believe we still have the regular flood warning in play for Levy, but I thought might something like that there. If we get more rain in there, some heavier downpours, depending on how things shift around, could get upgraded to a flash flood warning. The aerial flood warning in play 4 areas there of Levy County until 4:15 a.m. So Williston, Chiefland, Bronson, East Bronson under that. But that's not what goes out over the weather radio because it's a little bit of a step down in terms of the actual trigger on the alert system. It may be red on there going through the cycle, but in terms of the actual alert, it doesn't get triggered for a regular flood warning. But the one for Dixie was a flash flood warning. I mean, more rapid in general, so they do get triggered. As they're telling us here in the chat now, the signature in Taylor County with the red box, they're talking right now that it isn't looking as healthy for a tornado warning, so they're likely going to expire it. Let it expire, that is, and keep the severe thunderstorm warning over the area. So that's some good news here right now. It's going to go down to a severe thunderstorm situation, and it definitely looks like we've lost that couplet that was trying to evolve there on the Doppler scans as we hit 215. Now you see more just a brighter colored of window about 50. So, I mean, maybe a couple areas that are getting closer to 60, though. Just never know because it's been really tricky between really storms haven't looked as impressive. You get some different wind directions involved, get some maybe enhancement to the surface, not a tornado, but just getting reports of trees or power line issues. But sometimes you have just one area of wind sowing up there that's really looks like it probably produced and we don't get the report. So it's been a very tricky situation here that we're maybe about 2 days away from pretty much at least seeing as rain chances lower by a significant degree. Still could have pop-up stuff. But again, there's your severe thunderstorm warning to about 2 30. Want to see if we can get it past Perry with some of the worst. Considerable tree damage could occur, though. Damage still may end up happening to mobile homes and roofs, outbuildings as well. So Perry there, just getting some of the strongest of the straight line winds there. It's a heavy rain event there in Perry right now. Folks probably losing power. Some winds 40 right now over town, 50 to the east. We have an airport center out here. Let me see what is showing in terms of temperature right now. 74 degrees, and they're not quite at the worst of the wind. It doesn't look like there. In that spot, it kind of splitting the difference. It was only 12 mile an hour gust a few minutes ago, but it's probably go up some. So we'll keep it on our other mode. It'll pop in there once we get a higher reading if that does happen while we're on the air. But this was a 50 mile an hour potential here area showing up on velocity. Just north or near US 27, same deal. Some stuff back to the west here, closer to 50. Just going to keep looking at this here. This is our only severe thunderstorm warning right now. Again, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. That's the good news. We have a flash flood warning in the south, some more stuff. I mean, it's tricky. I mean, if you scan it, it looks like it just really goes back in. So it's a tricky pattern here, folks. And we got to just be careful. And then you see extended out in the Gulf of Mexico, lightning out there as well. Lightning out there in the Gulf of Mexico as well. So again, a situation here that we'll watch. If they start training in over Dixie, then that flash flood warning will become very justified here pretty quickly. Be careful there. That flash flood warning going for Cross City, Steinhatchee, Horseshoe Point, Swanee, Horseshoe Beach, Shamrock, Cross City Airport, Eugene, Hines, Jonesboro, Old Town, over toward Fannin Springs, Fletcher, Clara, until about 7:30 this morning. So got to be kind of careful there. Storm total rain shows, and this Tallahassee view, it shows how I've had quite a bit north of Horseshoe Beach there in the Cross City, 4, 5, 6 inches there in the more recent time frame. Cedar Key, maybe 6 inches on this view. Some views still a little different, but that's what their estimates here. They're not going to be perfect, like what actual reporting sites or a spotter will be able to give you in terms of some data, some harder numbers. But again, you can see here, this is a thunderstorm warning going for the Perry area. Now, the tornado warning has been dropped, which is the great news, but some stronger winds still moving toward Pineland there over the next little bit. And just to the east there, some stronger wind as well. Perry, as you saw. So at this point, we're almost in a spot where they'll have to make a decision on if they want to extend this out further to the east. If they do that, then they'll be maybe getting even to where it's like Mayo here over the next little bit. As I can hear our computers. I mean, that's what happens when you have tornado warnings and the like here. Our computers just they've been just overworked here in this type of scenario for just days and days and days here, folks. Again, we're now pretty much getting there to a period where we just don't get this type of stuff here this last this long. But they could extend it as a severe thunderstorm warning, significant advisory to the east. We'll see what happens based on some maybe wind reports happen in the area or don't. They have some different things at their disposal. But I mean, this is what happens here when you are now in a situation. We started back last Monday with severe weather situations. We're now on the next Friday. I mean, this is just really almost unprecedented from what I can remember. I know this time we had Debbie, though, back in 2012, but that wasn't a 2-week event. Still very impactful one we'll always remember here towards certain parts of the viewing circle. More rain in that period than even what we've had in this longer period. But the tornado warning and the warning counts weren't quite to this number, or convective type. Flash flood maybe, but the convective type not so much. But again, I mean, we're now on a day that, I mean, you had, just doing the math again in my head, we're now on day 12 of this, it seems, in our area. So in a row, consecutive in terms of a threat. Luckily, the tornado warning no longer in play, though. But just one man being here trying to keep you safe. You see a little bit of weak rotation now, just jumping out of the severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like it's warning the tide a bit there. A little bit of wind enhancement, too. That's wind to 50. Down toward Pineland, you see wind about 55 miles an hour there. So we're just going to have to keep watching. They just issue a new warning now. Severe thunderstorm warning, no tornado possible tag until 2:45. So at 2:20, western Lafayette County, the Big Bend of Florida, northeastern Taylor County, and southeastern Madison. So at about, it looks like a 2:20 or so, about 2:20 or so, the National Weather Service there, they were seeing severe thunderstorms located along the line extending from 11 miles south of Madison to near Perry to 23 miles west of Mayo to 23 miles northwest of Steinhatchee there, or Steinhatchee. I know some folks pronounce it different, but we're east at about 40 miles an hour, so 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Townsend, Cooks Hammock, Chancey, Smith, Salem, over toward Buckville there, Carver, Athena, San Pedro Junction, Day, and even the Mayo Junction area. So again, outside of that beat, that's a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible tag. Continuing back out toward the west there. So just continuing to watch things here in the weather center. We'll have to see if, I mean, really, mainly out to the east, you can almost argue for a tornado possible tag with these weak areas of rotation. Mayo's just on the edge of this warning, but you have areas like Day here, Day in the Fayette County there. You have areas south of I-10 mainly and Madison County. So again, situation we're just going to have to continue to monitor here as the timeline continues. So at least we don't have a tornado warning on the board anymore, but definitely see some brighter colors showing on up here. 54-mile-an-hour winds, 52. Kind of trying to sample these pixels to keep you informed. 48. So just again, giving you the idea. I mean, pretty similar story. Really, look at this. I mean, you have the one east of Pineland there. That's 53 again. Looking there to the northeast there, or east-northeast of Perry, about 54 mile an hour with a wind. 53 here as you get east of Lake Bird, and then even some more wind toward the north. So again, these areas kind of just continue to evolve on us here. I'll make sure we don't start getting these to tighten up. I know the SCP values would suggest that this could try to for a little bit in here, but eventually we'll lose the instability, which might make it a little bit less likely for that to happen. Things won't be as surface-based out here in terms of the instability. It could still be. I mean, we're talking about values there right near the coastal or 2,500 joules per kilogram. But then you get in the yellow, there, a situation where we're down to 800. Then we're getting there to, I mean, about 300 or 400 here as we get further on off toward the north and east, and then about 100 or 200 in towards Suwannee County. So again, situation where it's going to keep a tracking here. In the weather center, the SCP values will kind of go up a little bit. I mean, so it's kind of give and take here. But once you get past the instability to such a low level, we shouldn't be getting as severe of weather. Hopefully, it'll just be strong weather. We won't have to be as concerned about it. But again, we're just going to keep watching things here in the weather center, trying to protect you, trying to protect your friends, and trying to protect your family. Again, 54-mile-an-hour wind here east of Perry, northeast of Boyd, 53. I mean, that's what we're seeing mainly, maybe just right on the edge of severe, which is a good trend versus actually severe, maybe even tornadic. But they'll probably drop this one box soon here back to the west. Just some rain, pretty nasty rain there, but heavier little squall line here almost setting up, it looks like at this point. You kind of see the little edges here going from not much and to the heavier rain here pretty quickly. So again, that kind of tells that story as we watch things here in this setup. Here, looking for any debris. I don't see anything. That was right off. A little bit up there was interesting, but I don't think necessarily something definitive. Probably not, but anything. But just got to keep our eyes on things, obviously. In this type of situation, we have a situation that was one we had a tornado warning in play. We were just seeing that description. They decided to expire about 9-10 minutes ago at the National Weather Service in Tallahassee there, in the Love Building there. And they're now keeping an eye on a couple of the areas near the leading edge because they're showing signs of rotation. They want to see how they behave. So gonna have to keep our eyes on these here over the next little bit. Then we're thinking about maybe wrapping it up. I don't know if we can do that quite yet here. Stick with it just a little bit longer here in the weather center because it's all about protecting you, about protecting your friends, and about protecting your family. So again, let's just go ahead and see what we might have. Just make sure they don't start tightening up here. I know, just want to be mindful here of what's happening. Let's go ahead right now. Here and give you guys another look. Some more technology. You can see here we have some of our parameters in the Gulf. We have our instability values here that trail off, but again, we still have STP values, and another thing we have here, temperatures are pretty cool actually. Our dew point values though are definitely up there for sure. These are sufficient for sure to produce severe weather at ground, depending on the other ones in terms of the ingredients available. I'm just thinking back. I mean, really, the criteria of over 60 for dew point really gets you a more supportive setup. And when you have these numbers and you have the other ingredients, you're going to be good to go for severe weather potential. So again, I just have to keep watching things. I have to watch toward areas in Dixie County. This may not cut align quite right. It looks like it probably wouldn't, but if it did start aligning more and fast and where they had sales that were kind of by themselves moving across city, those might have a little bit better chance to rotate based on this yellow area. So I know if it says where the high and even the orange there, that moved in and kind of got in the right spot, and that has a chance to be a more favorable slot for a brief spin of tornado. So again, just have to keep our eyes on that according to our ingredients here with our sources. Let's go back on over here right now, though. Again, we don't have any former tornado warnings anymore. They're just keeping an eye on some of these leading edges here. There's leading edges here across our area. Again, we're just going to go ahead and try to give you guys the latest. You see Mayo here over the next little bit. If we even the threat not as significant, well, Mayo still could get some pretty nasty weather, whether it's severe or whether it's not. So there's something to keep in mind there in Lafayette County. Again, watching things as we're getting further off toward the east here, into toward the grand scheme of things. So again, a situation here that we're monitoring, one that we're tracking. Again, an area there of wind enhancement east of Pineland. Another area here of wind enhancement north of State Highway 20. This third area here west and northwest of Day. Fourth area here in Madison County. It's looking like it's trying to be a little more well put together. We'll just have to wait and see. Again, I just keep on monitoring things here. Make sure you still have multiple ways to get alerts. Talked about it last week. You just never know what can happen in these setups that we've continued to have around our area. So should start to sift and subside pretty soon. But nonetheless here, let's go ahead and go back to our broad perspective. The orange box, Taylor County, that one expired in 2 minutes. But the threat's moving more off toward the east now, toward portions of Lafayette, Madison, and Taylor until about 2:45. So again, the situation we'll watch further on over there in the word of Tomlin. You see how the rotation fell apart. So that's the good news. We don't really see them popping out as much now. Maybe trying a little bit in spots, but yeah, we're not seeing it too much on that mode. It tries to figure out the strength of things with these circulations on the board. So again, we'll just have to continue to give you guys the very latest here. In this type of setup as we're watching things here now early on this Friday, just trying to align things here in the right modes to figure out exactly what could be going on toward your community. So again, just gotta watch that, gotta track it here as we look and see that there's not really many spotted out in that area. Thought I'd double check that as we try to find some different things to show you guys at home. Let's go ahead and see some satellite views. Our infrared shows colder cloud tops in the Gulf. Those could get toward if these hold together now. The models just don't really handle things well in this setup here lately. But instability here, well, it does slack off, so that could be a limiting factor to some degree. But if that area in the Gulf does head more along the blue line, per se, the southern edge of the marine warning, and that could be an issue toward Taylor. We're talking about areas there of not just Taylor and Dixie, but obviously Levy here as well. So again, I'm just gonna have to continue to watch things here in the weather center. So okay, so that one marine warning went away for a second to the other thunderstorm warning, but again, I'm just gonna have to keep watching things. So what I mean by this area here in the Gulf, let me clarify that stuff. I know, don't want to confuse you guys with the counties. I'm talking about Taylor and Dixie, but really meaning also more Dixie and Levy here, kind of getting a little bit because of the satellite here. I'm kind of losing my geographic sense there a little bit, but I mean more Dixie and Levy based on where I was tracking that where the line was. But again, I'm just going to continue to watch things. I'll continue to monitor the situations here. Let's look back here at some of our other modes. Again, last 12 hours on Cedar Key, a lot of rain there in Levy County. causing some issues. A regular and aerial flood warning in play per se. In addition to that flood watch that's in play. So again, we're just going to keep on watching that. As you see, different areas of our area last 12 hours. Who missed out on the rain? Well, southeast Georgia did from way across to Brunswick, but not southwest Georgia, not to Big Bend, not south central Georgia, really. I mean, maybe once you get to about dry stuff. But then North Florida, most areas getting some rain. A little bit of Hamilton and Columbia, Nassau, some exceptions. But again, I'm just going to continue to watch things here in the Weather Center. Continue to give you guys the very latest here. Let's check those areas of rotation again. Check the wind speeds. We just have to kind of look here. So it doesn't show too much in the way of rotation on this mode right now. I think I need to punch up a different radar view though. I think I need to punch up a different radar view, as we're just going to go ahead and zoom back out a little bit. Zoom back out. I know they're going to do significant advisory for parts of Hamilton and Suwanee 315, but I think we're wanting to go ahead and go on over here and go on over to our other radar. And here in a moment, that means that advisory being issued to the east might mean that the weather service Jacksonville is often maybe to go with something that's not quite to a severe thunderstorm warning, as look like our brighter colors are starting to go away. Only I guess in the 30 range they're reported, 32 or so at the airport in Taylor County. So they were kind of between the heaviest, the wind looked like more like 40-mile-an-hour wind would go through there. So maybe reduce things. Let's do the math there by about 1/5 or so. If I'm doing that right there, and this early hour on this Friday morning, maybe reduce what we're seeing on radar by about 1/5. I mean, possibly that's a good reduction you can use sometimes here, depending on the situation and meteorology. Not always, it doesn't always work, but sometimes it can make sense there to try to just apply it across the board. I mean, certain areas the height's going to be different though where you're at on the radar beams. That's something to factor in here as well, because what I mean, the winds higher up on our colors on a velocity table, they don't translate to the ground at the same level. It's just the way things are here in these kind of setups. So again, I'm going to go ahead and continue to watch things. Again, that's significant weather advisory though issued till 3:15 for parts of Hamilton and Suwanee. So they went with wind gusts there up to 50 miles an hour, excessive cloud around lightning. The Jacksonville office did minor flooding to heavier rain, as 231 Balfour was tracking strong thunderstorms extending along a line there from 6 miles south of Madison to 8 miles southeast of Perry, moving east at 55 miles an hour. Some areas like Live Oak, Jasper, Suwanee River State Park, Suwanee Springs, Crossroads, McAlpin, Lauraville, Wellborn, even over toward Blue Springs there. So again, just going to continue to watch things. Even have Dowling Park there under things. We'll watch toward that area as well. Just make sure you're not outside of a park or something, or a situation like that. I mean, of course, as we're looking at things, I know as we continue to monitor our situation, it's a community we're talking about with Dowling Park, obviously, but you kind of get what I mean. Just gonna continue to watch things here in these type of scenarios. So, again, monitoring things. We're just gonna keep on giving you guys the latest here, looking at all of our latest updates here that we're getting in. Let's just go ahead and jump on over toward our other source. You can see here the winds don't look on our Moody radar. I don't see that in the straight line, kind of do, but haven't got a lot of reports in so far, if any, further back toward the west. I mean, this went right over the tornado warning. Of course, you had the rotation some degree further back. I mean, even on this radar, kind of interesting to see what it's showing, and then kind of look this. Let's flip it around. So you couldn't see as much on there. You had enough, and then it kind of switched there with our directions. So, but again, you can see here right now, not much rotation, but a lot of wind right over day there in Lafayette County. So again, yes, some of these different areas further off toward these and significant weather advisory. So again, or Live Oak, Jasper, Suwanee River State Park. That's what I mean by not being outside. Suwanee Springs as well, Crossroads, McAlpin, Lauraville, Wellborn, over toward Dowling Park, Blue Springs there too. So torrential rainfall is also occurring in addition to maybe winds to 50, excessive lightning, cloud to ground in nature. That can mean deadly lightning, really, and minor flooding due to the heavy rainfall. So again, I know it looks like right now Jackson wants to offer the advisory. I kind of agree with them, though. I do see that wind pixel area trying to pick up a little. So that's something a little bit concerning, not rotation wise, but winds here around day there, County Road 53. So you can see it Dowling Park there. So we're going to be watching some of the winds come in that area. New Bern, at least that threat does persist. So again, you see that it's like a straight edge here on this too, the squall line. Looking here, we go from not much on the radar to quite a bit of convection quickly. That can help be an indicator of the wind being brought down toward the surface here. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. You're not going, you're going not for much. So you're out to some very heavy downpours here pretty rapidly. So we're just going to keep on watching things as we get out toward the Dade community there, right along County Road 53. Looking about 3,652 feet up there on the radar. I know I say about, but we're getting really specific here this time of night, I guess. But again, just continue to watch things here in the Weather Center as we try to give you guys the latest here. Again, around day to get some of that stronger wind transported down toward the surface here. Some of that could head up toward Live Oak here over the next little bit as we kind of try to get a direction on that. I know it's mainly an easterly warning, but it seems like it may be trying to head up toward New Bern. Whether these are 50 or 60 mile an hour winds, that might be the question. But I mean, 60, you have the magnitude of damage potential go up pretty quickly there. Let's also take the power outage numbers in Taylor County. Let's see what we have over there right now. See if there's any outages that we need to tell you guys about. So it looks like 38 customers noted right now out, and that would be on the Tri-County Electric Cooperative. So not too many customers in the dark there. 168 earlier. I was looking afterward with color. That's still the story there, but looks like Levy 177 customers in the dark. According to PowerOutage.us, 185 in Marion County. So giving you guys an idea of some of the outages here this morning as we look at this accident, get closer to the edge of this box. Now, not much rotation anymore, but off the Moody's side, Moody, Ritter Angle, and the like in the distance. But you see some stronger winds here moving up toward the New Bern area right now, right over. Whether these are severe or they're just strong, even 50, 60 winds, never know. But Dowling Park here, Dowling Park, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Sometimes I kind of mispronounce that, but again, just have to continue to watch it. I guess you could kind of, I mean, you think about the pronunciation there, you could kind of just take the word Dow and then lean, Dowling, or Dow, and then kind of use the L on the end of that, and then Dowing or something like that. But again, just continue to watch things here in our area. I know we cover Summary, I know we cover our 62 counties. Try to stay on top of all the pronunciations, but there's still a few here and there. I mean, been around here for a while, but it's just, you don't get every single pronunciation the way maybe you would think it'd be pronounced here, or you hear it two different ways. I've heard that a lot over the years. There's many cities around here. Really, I've heard two different ways. Sometimes one of the ways right, it seems, and one's not. At some other times, it's a situation where really you hear it just so much that really either kind of goes in the level of conversation here. So again, New Bern there though, next in line, you see our wind gauge is headed right for that wind gauge there around Live Oak Airport. So there's some stronger wind headed there. Just try to stick with it because it'd be better to kind of stick with it maybe for a few more seconds to see if they, the Jacksonville office, when they issue a warning. If these weren't shown up at 60 in the velocity, I wouldn't stick with it. But since they are headed right for Live Oak, it kind of piques my interest here a little bit. And we just want to stick with it a little bit longer to try to protect you, protect your friends, and protect your family. So again, this does indicate maybe stronger winds when you go from not much convection at all to heavier rain here, that kind of straight edge per se. You don't have, I mean, you don't have much here before you get into heavy rain, and that can sometimes be an indicator that the winds are getting brought down more toward the surface here. So just got to keep that in mind. Gotta be mindful of that potential here across the area. So again, trying to let you guys know what's going on here. I'm gonna go ahead and go on into my sources here we're going to go ahead and check right now and see what we might have. And don't see anything new at this moment. Let's see what the chat session continues to say here over the next few moments out of Jacksonville, Tallahassee. We keep our eyes on Tampa as well because of what's going on down toward Levy County and the like in that vicinity. So it looks like even some smaller hail possible southeast Madison County right now. Where we have some of this, let me go back on over to other mode. Again, let's go back to other mode here. Looking at a little bit of hail eastern Marion, but this is some hail potential maybe right here. Not really so much on a color table, but southern Madison County. Again, little bow up there, back a little. That could be a bit of an issue, but not send rotation tracker too much there right now on that. But we'll just continue to watch things, continue to track the situation. Again, the instability does slack off further to the east. That might be one reason they don't want to issue a Jackson one. I don't blame them in some ways, because if you don't get the reports with these stronger instability values, it'll be even harder to get the winds down to the east, even if they look about the same or maybe slightly stronger in some angles of the radar. But again, just continuing to watch things here. New Bern, you have Live Oak here. We're just going to have to continue to monitor all our different scans. Just continue to watch things here. This is the Moody radar site. Again, just be aware, even if you don't have a warning for Live Oak here, that still some stronger winds are headed your way there in Suwannee County. Again, we'll see you guys where we're at with this in terms of our 62 counties there. I think we want to go ahead and go to our coverage map, kind of give you an idea of the geography of things here. So this is one of our maps that we see the radar, of course, but then our coverage map is this one right here. You can see what we're talking about. We're talking about this starting to translate off into Suwannee County and toward the Live Oak area there in parts of North Central Florida, the Suwannee Valley, the Suwannee River Valley, per se. So, again, a lot of stuff going on. Let me see. I'm just going to go ahead and check some different things while we're on here right now, because there's just been a lot happening here in the Weather Center. It's all about trying to let you guys know what's going on. I'm going to try to give you a heads up. Of course, there's other flood watches in play for a little longer. There's flood warning areas that we're monitoring here as well. I mean, that flood warning toward Levy County, for instance. So let's go ahead and zoom back out a little bit. You're talking about Perry there. Some winds again, 32 on the last round. This round here shouldn't be as strong, but maybe getting some gusty winds coming through there too. You can see Lauraville and New Bern. We've been seeing some wind, a little more toward New Bern. And again, some of this will be headed up toward areas there, toward I-10 next few moments, and toward this area here as well. It looks like right on that Madison-Suwannee County line. So kind of interesting to see the geography of that there. In fact, I'm going to try to pull traffic up here on that line. Maybe that'll give us an idea of what type of wind we're seeing on the I-10 cameras. Bear with me here as I do that. So that'd be the Madison-Suwannee County line. So in terms of geographic points here, we're talking about just northwest of New Bern, of a little ways it would seem. So let's just try to get on in here. It's a one-man band, so I kind of have to look for the camera. I talk to you guys at home. We're looking there northeast of the areas there, like Dowling Park. So again, that's kind of a geographic reference point here right now as we kind of look at things. So again, just trying to let you guys know exactly what's going on here in this type of setup, just to help you guys out at home. I mean, what's going on? Looks like a lot of the cameras are pretty dark out there in this area, but just kind of get an idea maybe of what's going on just from a geographic look here. Because certain sites can give you different views. 245 is coming. It looks like we don't have that warning here anymore, but toward the west, we'll see if we got one toward the east here in a moment. Wonder, this is an interesting shot here. Maybe. Okay, I don't see too much movement, so that's a good sign early on. Let me see here though. Looks like there's some rest areas there along the interstate. The camera's pretty black because you can't see too much at this time of night depending on where they're at. So again, just trying to let you guys know what's going on in this setup. see some lightning on one. It's this, you know, I don't know if I want to put that up because it's in night vision. You can't really, funny is you can't really make out stuff. It almost, I think it looks worse, scarier than it actually might be. Some of these, it's just the way the lights are hitting the camera. You're not getting a good shot. It's hitting the most popular area out here, so sometimes not as easy when you don't have too many lights on these shots. So I just continue to watch things though for sure in the grand scheme of things. So it's almost as if it's just kind of blurry with stuff, and don't want to try to give you the false impression here that it's worse than it actually is. So kind of trying to effort some shots, but not seeing a whole bunch here. You know, we're getting too many flashes on some of these. It's just not, but again, it's not because of the wind necessarily, but this is just down to the interstate right now still. One of the strongest. Again, no warning anymore, but you have areas there further off toward I-10 about to be impacted, and then up there in the ward areas closer toward Live Oak. Maybe the worst goes just north. Okay, it's right over the interstate now. Let me just see if there's anything. Let me check again. Let me zoom out on my map in just a little bit. See if there's anything kind of intriguing out there in terms of a shot. You can't make that a lot out right now. I think I just do more harm than good because we see flashes, but it's the lighting. But yeah, you can't really see exactly what is happening out here. So okay, that was kind of interesting, but I think that's just another flash, and otherwise it's dark. So yeah, I almost feel like these flashes are just so vibrant. It's not really, you can't really make things out that good though overall. But again, we'll just continue to watch. This one might be better. But I'm gonna try this. It's further over to the east, but it's a lot clearer shot than the ones further back toward the west. So if we get some flashes on here, you'll be able to see them better. I wouldn't be as concerned here because some of them just, there we go. That's what we're looking for, kind of a shot like that. So again, some of these nastier conditions. This is some of these. There you go. Again, shots were just night vision with the lightning. You couldn't really see much at all. It was just a flash, and it was like something that it just really wasn't doing much help to here. Really wasn't helping the situation. But there's your view. There's your view. Looking there, I-10 there. Mile marker's 274.7. Looking southwest. So again, I see some of that lightning again. Pretty dramatic sight here as we're looking along I-10. So again, we're a little further to the east of things, but this kind of gets a look right back at all that lightning here. Giving you a look live on the air here on cloud weather. Significant weather advisory issued for parts of Madison. There you go. Till about 3 a.m. Definitely seeing those flashes there of that electrical energy. But no longer any severe thunderstorm tornado warnings in play at this present time. We do the flash flood warning for Dixie. Could get more of those. There's a flood warning for Levy. So we're going to have to continue to watch things here. You see more flashes here on the views. So again, we'll keep our eyes on things here in the weather center. Let's move away from the traffic source right now, though. You can see here, and I'm getting more flashes on the camera, but right there along the interstate, we have some of that stronger wind, it looks like, as you're getting there, just north of New Bern, it looks like, and you see, it's another one of those towns you could pronounce either way, I think, Falmouth or Falmouth here. So, again, or even, I guess, Falmouth even. I know it's just, we have a few different areas here that you don't really talk about enough to know the pronunciation. There's not many people in terms of population there, so it's not something you really get into too much because it kind of gets a little bit hard to understand in some of that regard. But in terms of, I mean, you could just make different judgment calls. But again, not seeing any active warnings right now. Some lightning moving toward Live Oak. You saw it on that view. That electrical energy around, maybe strong winds, maybe winds that get close to severe, maybe just north of town, around Live Oak there. We'll watch things, we'll track things here in the weather center. But unless I see something new, we're not going to talk much longer here in terms of coverage. Right at this moment, Dixie County, some heavier rain trying to move across city right now. They don't need that, and more in the Gulf, it would seem. We're on some different views. Let's go to Tampa's radar. Let's go to the Tampa radar. This will be from about now. You can see in eastern part of Dixie, some heavy rain and some lightning there. Let me move into Gilchrist County on trend here. pretty soon, and Levy County maybe. Just kind of looking here as we've been switching radars. That's why it jumps on you. I have to make sure instead of training, if this really were to train in the proper format, we'd have flash flooding problems. So I got to keep that in mind as we're looking further on off toward the east here over the next little bit. So, okay, that's going to wrap it up for now. Looking in Ocala, see some stronger action there. Even on Salt Springs a little bit. It's looking high up. Let's see there real quick. Look at a little weak rotation there with that lightning. So let's see what Melbourne's on. Yes, on it too. Melbourne and Tampa above. Let's try Jacksonville. I have it on street level mode, so that'll take a little longer to gather the data before I can switch that on over. But there's your views here. Let's see what rotation tracker shows. That's not too much yet. There we had one there as we were watching things toward the lake out here earlier on that Thursday. We're now on that Friday, but again, I'm watching things move across Flagler. That storm later on ended up producing some damage there. Closer in the ward areas there, further east in Flagler County near Palm Coast Airport, I believe it was, with the geography of things. But a lot of lightning out here. You saw it on our cameras out toward areas there of Suwannee and Hamilton and areas there of Madison and in Lafayette a little bit. You see Eastern Dixie, some lightning, Citrus lightning out of our area, especially Marine One in the Gulf now. Yeah, and let's just watch that. And it looks like they're calling those severe thunderstorms out there, so might be in for some more warning that accent can hold together within the instability. That's right near the coast there. There's your supercell. Excuse me, there's your significant tornado parameter. There's your supercell. They've gone up a bit there. A pretty good bit, it looks like. And some, yeah, they just went up. So I don't want to see that, obviously. If things can get together just wrong, we could have some issues. So, hopefully not, though. Hopefully it's more about something there's a rotation indicating more just a nastier environment in terms of the flooding, which we don't want either, but a little bit better than just having a tornado warning on the board. Not much in some ways. Depends what sets up what goes on. But so I wanted to switch over to the other radar to check that area in northeastern Marion before we wrapped it up then, since it come high off of Tampa and Melbourne. Okay, it's a little bit less on the Jacksonville radar. A little bit closer probably too on there, so that's good. You had the stuff in Suwannee County there. That's still pretty strong there. We'll have to watch for new warning. It could still get extended in the Live Oak depending on what we get on that METAR side. That'll probably be a key litmus test here to figure out what's going on out there. But no new warning yet in that area. The advisory says wind gusts up to 50 thou, and that goes until about 3:15. But we'll have to see what type of wind's up on that measuring side, the anemometer there, over the next few moments. So, okay, so that's going to do it in terms of conversation pretty much about the weather. At this point, I think pretty much wrapping it up. That's the plan right now. If something changes over the next few moments here, we're going to keep watching though and keep tracking. Of course, you know we're on. We need to be Facebook Casey Cloud X, Facebook Clouds Weather, YouTube at Clouds Weather there. So that's just some of the platforms. Twitter at Cloud Casey, and then you have Twitch there at the Clouds Weather platform tag handle as well. So again, that's kind of storyline there. Trying to wrap things up for now. But you see the logo is garnet and gold here. And again, if you haven't heard the news, we're still, everybody in the meteorology community here, especially around North Florida, South Georgia here, and I mean just viewers in general are still mourning the loss of legendary former WJXT chief meteorologist George Winterland, passing away on Wednesday at age 91. So keeping my thoughts and prayers with his family in this type of situation. Just going to keep reiterating this in case we have people that haven't been watching the coverage, so everybody knows about this, because so many people love George here around our area in the Jacksonville TV market. So again, thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends during this difficult time. So back to your radar view now. You can see here one last look at it. Still that flash flood warning over Dixie County. You see Live Oak there, some lightning in play as well. We'll watch to see if we get new warnings. We'll continue to give you guys updates here if they're necessary. It's pretty strong wind moving toward Live Oak. Doesn't mean they'll be severe, but it could still cause a power outage or something. So just got to be aware of that as you're on Live Oak right now in parts of Suwannee County, New Bern, on the interstate corridor there. About to be getting even further across here, depending on where the apex of this is. US 90 there. I mean, already the cases, we look at parts of it, but Live Oak there, you can see heavy rain coming down off the Jacksonville side. That's a little further away, but it's showing it too. So we'll have to see exactly what gets brought down toward the surface here in this type of situation. For now, meteorologist Casey Clower still in alert mode, still trying to keep you, your friends, and your family safe and informed. For now, thanks so much for tuning in.